For over 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has stood silently in the desert, a structure so precise, so impossibly perfect, that even today, we cannot fully explain how it was built. The official story says it was made with primitive tools, wooden sleds, and tens of thousands of men dragging giant stones. But what if the truth is far stranger and far more advanced than anything we were ever taught? Tonight, we dive into the secrets they never told you, secrets hidden in ancient texts, forbidden archaeology, and the pyramid's own impossible geometry. This is the story of how the Great Pyramid was really built. The Great Pyramid isn't just a pile of stones. It's a mathematical masterpiece aligned with true north with an accuracy that modern engineers would struggle to match, even with lasers and satellites. Its base is almost a perfect square, differing by less than a hair's breadth, and its sides encode the value of pi, phi, and the precise length of a solar year. Imagine a civilization with no iron tools, no wheels, no machines, yet they constructed something that modern cranes couldn't assemble. So the obvious question is, how? How did a Bronze Age society achieve something that looks like the work of master engineers? That question has haunted scholars for centuries. Most of the limestone blocks supposedly came from a quarry nearly 500 miles away. Each block weighs as much as your car. Some blocks in the King's Chamber weigh up to 80 tons. Moving these stones with wooden sleds across boiling desert sand? Let's think about that. The friction alone would have made it almost impossible. Experiments show that even 1,000 men couldn't pull some of the heavier blocks. So what did the Egyptians know that we don't? There are theories, strange theories, involving liquid flotation, ancient canals, and even a lost method of making stone lighter. And yet, this mystery is only the beginning. Some Egyptologists quietly admit that something doesn't add up. Greek historians wrote that the Egyptians possessed knowledge that was older than time itself. Archaeological digs uncovered tools made from materials we can't reproduce today. And ancient carvings depict strange devices: ropes floating upward, boxes emitting rays of light, platforms lifting massive objects. Were these symbolic? Or were the Egyptians using a form of technology that has vanished from history? One controversial idea suggests the Egyptians may have understood vibration and resonance. The Great Pyramid itself is built like a giant tuning fork. When you stand inside certain chambers, the walls hum. Not metaphorically, literally. The granite vibrates at specific frequencies. Some researchers believe they used sound to lift or move stone, an ancient acoustic technology. Impossible? Maybe, but consider this. Monks in Tibet were observed using drums and horns to levitate rocks. Ancient Sanskrit texts describe machines that fly through the air using sound. Could the Egyptians have tapped into the same knowledge? A more acceptable theory among modern engineers suggests that the pyramid was built from the inside out, using a hidden internal ramp spiraling upward. This would explain why no external ramp has ever been found. It would explain how heavy stones were lifted to incredible heights. And thermal scans of the pyramid have detected strange internal voids, spaces that align suspiciously with where such a ramp would be. But this opens another question. How did ancient architects design a structure with such precision from inside, without going outside to measure or correct mistakes? The margin of error in the pyramid's base is so small, engineers say it's like building a football field and being off by only half an inch. Not bad for people with copper chisels. It turns out the Great Pyramid isn't just a monument, it's a message. Its dimensions encode the size of the Earth, the distance to the Sun, the orbital period of our planet, the speed of light, yes, seriously, and even the curvature of the Earth. How could a civilization with no telescopes, no satellites, no calculators know these things? Unless the Egyptians weren't the ones who discovered the knowledge, they inherited it. Egyptian legends describe an earlier age, a forgotten civilization wiped out by a great flood, whose survivors passed down sacred knowledge. Some call this civilization Atlantis. Others call it Zep Tepi, the first time, a period when gods, or perhaps highly advanced humans, walked the earth. And the pyramid? It may be their greatest surviving masterpiece. Inside the pyramid are shafts, chambers, and ducts that seem to serve no ceremonial purpose. No pharaoh was ever found inside it. No hieroglyphs decorate its walls. It is not a tomb. But what if it was a machine? One theory suggests the Great Pyramid was a gigantic energy generator. Consider this. The Queen's chamber shows chemical residue linked to electrolysis. The granite in the King's chamber is incredibly conductive. The pyramid's position aligns with underground water channels that create electric charge. Water flowing beneath the pyramid could create vibrations. Those vibrations could be amplified by the structure. And the shape, precisely aligned and mathematically tuned, could focus that energy upward. Some believe the pyramid was a wireless energy transmitter long before Tesla dreamed of it. In 2017, scientists using cosmic ray Mune scans discovered a massive hidden void inside the Great Pyramid, bigger than a jet airliner. What's inside it? No one knows. The Egyptian authorities refused to drill or explore further, claiming it would damage the monument. But why not use small robots? Why not use fiber cameras? Why keep the void a secret? Some researchers whisper that the chamber could contain lost manuscripts, ancient machines, or even artifacts from that pre-Egyptian civilization. Others believe it contains nothing at all, because the chamber itself is the machine, and opening it would break something we don't yet understand. So who built the Great Pyramid? Was it tens of thousands of laborers dragging stones for decades? A forgotten civilization with technology we can barely imagine? Visitors from somewhere else entirely? There's an inscription at the Temple of Edfu claiming that the knowledge of the pyramids came from the gods who came from the sky in the time before. Are these gods symbolic? Or is this ancient Egypt trying to describe something they couldn't explain? Beings with knowledge far beyond their own? Even today, some of the world's most respected archaeologists admit they cannot fully explain the construction. Not how the stones were moved, not how the design was chosen, not how the builders achieved such perfection. And that leaves us with one final possibility. Maybe the Great Pyramid wasn't built using brute force, or primitive tools, or slave labor. Maybe it was built using knowledge, precise, ancient, mathematical, and possibly lost forever. A knowledge so advanced that it looks like magic to us today. The Great Pyramid may not just be a monument. It may be a warning, a message, or a reminder that humanity once knew something extraordinary, and somehow, somewhere along the line, we forgot. What do you think built the Great Pyramid? Human genius, a lost civilization, or something far beyond our understanding?